You're watching TVC Breakfast, and now we delve into our next discussion, talking about persistent crisis within a group, which may suggest all isn't well. And this can be said about the Labour Party, as the just concluded National Convention is facing an integrity test of some sorts, while 6 members of the Enugu State House of Assembly have dumped the party for the People's Democratic Party. Also, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has given a hint about the possibility of him dumping the party ahead of the 2027 election season. According to him, the contrived crisis in the Labour Party was part of a distraction which neither he nor his supporters were willing to fall for. Meanwhile, the member representing Igbo Ezil South constituency in the Enugu State House of Assembly, Harrison Ogara, has described as false the claim that there is a leadership crisis in the Labour Party. And joining us now from our Abuja studio is public affairs analyst Mayo Kunlo. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Tell us, as we start off this way, what you make of this ruckus, the persistent wranglings that we see, the intra-party wranglings that we see in the LP.
Well, good morning, Kemi. Good morning, Ibrahim. Happy Easter to you both and the house.
Thank you.
Somebody said the more things change, the more they remain the same. So while this may be surprising to some, it's not actually surprising to me. I've said it maybe months back in an earlier forum that I would be surprised if Labour Party can hold on to its elected representatives for more than 2 years. And even for me, it's brazen, it's coming a bit too early, but the signs have always been there. You know, the party rushed into 2023 elections with who you can call strange bedfellows. The nuts and bolts of what it takes to make a party resilient were not attended to. Peter Obi was the darling of the party. It brought a lot of impetus into the party, from just being one of the also-rans to a party that actually stood a chance of returning people to the various chambers, and that they did. But maybe partly on the leadership style of Peter Obi, partly on the horrid nature of bringing things together. But the results are beginning to play out, and I wish I can say it will get better from here, but before it ever gets better, it's going to get worse, and we're just beginning to see that.
And the fact that when Peter Obi was asked why he shunned the party convention, saying that he only, why he's not able to mediate between the warring parties, he said that he responded by saying that he did not promise to build a party, he only promised to build Nigeria. And then it now begs the question, if you say you want to build Nigeria, you're not building a platform which you plan to become a president through. People are now saying that, what does this say about the person of Mr. Peter Obi? If you say you want to build Nigeria, but you're not building the platform, how then would you be able to build the country which has more trouble or more troubles than your own party, which is having its own internal strife?
Okay, for me, I think Peter Obi is who he is. I'm not in a position to change him. But the truth is, you cannot have considerable success in this climb without putting much effort into building the parties. He's always been a beneficiary of maybe the structures others have put in place. Some other people don't like it. Himself seems to have enjoyed it so far, but it can only take you so far. You know, this kind of arrangement, you didn't know Labour Party, you didn't do anything for them. You needed a platform because you were about to be taken out of PDP. Then you dumped PDP and ran here. The same way when you found that APGA was not that useful for you. You left APGA in, I think, 2014 or thereabout, and jumped into PDP. You know, people are watching whoever it is that has made considerable progress at the presidential level, they've been consistent. Even Atiku, with his near lack of perfect consistency, is paying the price for jumping from PDP to APC and back to PDP, you know. So we have to be able to see how far we have come, to see how others did it. You know, sometimes it's foolhardy for some of us when we started hearing that Peter Obi said he could have won the 2023 elections. Not by any stretch of the imagination. You came third and you knew it, and you are telling us, okay, I won, and I'm going to show you. It took all shades of political affiliations to dislodge PDP from power in 2015, as it were. I ran through the list. You had ACN, you had CPC of Buhari, you had the new PDP, you had a faction of ABGA, among others. You had AMPP. So just to dislodge a party in power, and now somebody who had the opportunity of doing that, maybe with PDP, you know, if he had maybe partnered with Atiku, maybe they would have had a better showing. Not that I can be sure that they would have won, but at least they would have given APC a run for their money. But they didn't do that. Each went its own way because people put their individual ambitions over and above the ambition of the party. And that is what is exactly playing out again. You can see the Labour Party, the person is already telling you if they don't put their house, it's not their house, it's your house. You understand? Much of the work of party politicking is done behind the scenes where people don't see. You can't be coming out and be looking for sound bites and say you are going to fix the party. It's not going to work. Now you have seen that even in a state where they had majority in the House of Assembly, they are losing their members to PDP. PDP is no more less issues based than Labour Party. But here we are. You say, okay, we are leaving Labour Party and we are going to PDP. So it all tells me that they are all birds of different feathers and they are fair weather people. So that's my opinion on that.
Right, and in terms of structure or lack of it, or if you could also add, not aligning, you know, these members who have gone on to become public office holders across various levels of governance following the last general election, in terms of them, and if you can say them aligning with the philosophy of the party, being for the people, being, you know, a child of, you know, the Nigerian labor, so to speak, the Nigerian labor movement. How would you, further dissect, the crisis that we see rocking the Labour Party, and perhaps, explain why notable members of the party, including its presidential candidates, are aloof or appear to be aloof?
Okay, for me, I think why not going granular with the personas in the fray? I would say what they lack is internal structure, by and large. Each person comes to power, people put their personal preferences, personal ambitions, personal idiosyncrasies above the issues of democracy and structure and laid down procedures. Every party in theory has a laid down constitution, and when that constitution is not working, it behoves the founders of the party to sit down and put their personal preferences aside for the benefit of the party. If I use APC that is in power as an example, the current president had to subsume. Even though he's been the one, building the party over the years. There was a point in 2007, 2006, where he had formed a party, Atiku needed a platform, and he willfully handed it over to him. Even though he wanted to be vice, Atiku said, no, I'm not going to use you as vice, and still they work together. So you have to play the long game in party politics. I've been hearing $3.5 billion, I've been hearing diaspora remittances that were never made public, even some of them illegal, you understand? So at the end of the day, these things were pocketed. There's no auditing, there's no transparency, there's no serious accountability. And Obi is, by and large, 70% of the reason why the party is that important in the federal scheme of things. What is his role, I've heard that, okay, he has met with some lawmakers, but there was no public record of such meetings. He has to put his weight down on some of the issues that border on the party. Otherwise, they will see him as somebody who's always moving from one party to the other. If he goes to the SDP, has been talked about in certain circles, what kind of respect does he hope to achieve? What kind of people is he looking for there that are not already there in Labour Party? The average Nigerian politician is looking for what is in need for him or her, not necessarily what is good for the country or for the party itself. So he has to really take a stock and say, okay, what do we need? The solution is not hard there. The solution comes from his leadership style, among others. So for Joe Abure and the other people in their own issues, the party, as I've learned, belongs to Labour, the NLC. Whatever they do with that, I don't know. The BOT now has presumably taken over the structure of the party. I'm sure Abure is not going to go down without a fight, and at the end of the day, they make the party look like something for the comic books. I'm not happy about that.
Quite interesting twist we are getting to see, from the Labour Party, which actually pride itself to, solving the Nigerian problem or, helping the Nigerians out of the doldrums, political doldrums they found themselves. But the Director General of the Obidati Campaign Council, Akin Oshutokun, said that, I wanted to help us to paint a likely scenario because, according to him, he said the Labour Party might now break into three factions, first being the Apapa-led faction, the second, that of Abure, and the third, maybe most importantly, the obedient faction. Do you feel that this is a plausible argument?
Well, it's a very plausible argument, but at the end of the day, which among them, the strength of the obedient movement is their relationship with Peter Obi. The obedient is predicated on Obi as the main actor, and it's one of the issues wrong with our party system. They are not looking at structures; they are looking at the personalities involved. So if you don't say, okay, which one is the constitution, which one is for the posterity of the party, at the end of the day, all of the three factions will be less than one. They are already less than one anyway. So you can be sure that maybe in another 3 years, Labour Party will go back to how it has ever been, winning less than maybe 1% of the total elections in the country. So it's not a good outcome, but Peter Obi himself should know that even if he goes to SDP, he will eventually score maybe less than 50% of what he scored in 2023 elections, because many of the obedients are already tired and they are already complaining because there is no transparency, there is no change that they actually intend to see. And it's a good test of whatever it is that you think you are bringing. You can't claim that you want to change Nigeria if you cannot reform something as simple as the vehicle that you want to use to get to power. So it should start from there. If he's able to get this under control and build for the long term and not be running around looking for easy leaning parties, then maybe the easy it is for people to take him seriously.
And quickly, just before we wrap up this conversation now, for the people or the honorables or lawmakers that have, chosen to decamp, do you see this as, very much in order, looking at the crisis rocking their party and, people that may want to now say that they relinquish their seats on account of, them decamping? Or do you even foresee that there will be more in the coming days?
Well, I think it can go either way. I see more because for the average Nigerian politician, he who pays the piper dictates the tone. As long as the governor has the bag with him, there will always be more people that will join him. And that is on one side. On the legal side, I don't think their seats can really be declared vacant because the legal jurisprudence has argued that, okay, if there's a crisis in the party, you are at liberty to jump ship, which seems to be what they have done. So however it plays out, I'm sure what they need to do, if they are really serious about seizing power in 2027 or beyond, is to put the house in order, put structures in place, start building the party from the ground up. The whole Abure approach of doing conventions without word input is uncalled for. And the whole idea of not being transparent enough, at least to show that we are different from, that the party itself is different from PDP or APC, is a taint, is a black mark on the on the future of the party as a serious force to reckon with.
Interesting.
All right, Amayo Quinlo, Public Affairs Analyst, we thank you very much for speaking with us on TVC Breakfast. Have a great day.
I wish you the same too. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Still ahead on the program, retired